Well, we're getting information about the cabinet note on Telangana, which has unsettled the political circles in Andhra Pradesh. As we speak, ministers from Seam Andhra region are meeting in Hyderabad. While Headlines today has accessed the cabinet note on Telangana, and sources are telling us that the Seam Andhra region will be getting a raw deal after the formation of a separate state. Sources tell us that in a major boost to the Telangana region, Hyderabad will be made the capital of the new state. Not only that, Telangana will have complete administrative and financial control over Hyderabad. While the cabinet note that was prepared last night was sent to the Law Ministry for vetting, but what's unusual is that the ministry did not vet the note. In Delhi, several Seam Andhra ministers also met the Home Minister who signed on the cabinet note this morning. The BJP has said that the government has mishandled the creation of Telangana. Instead of dividing the state, they have divided the people. But it is still a long road to Telangana. The cabinet has to first approve the first formation of the separate state. Once that happens, a group of ministers is expected to be set up to look threadbare into the issue arising out of the bifurcation of the state. This is then likely to be followed by a resolution being sent to the State Assembly. Editor Kartikeya Sharma and Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu are both joining us with more details on that. Let me first get a quick word from Kartikeya. Kartikeya, earlier on there was the concept of a joint or a common capital with Hyderabad catering to both the states at the same time, at least for some time, some few years. What happened to that?
You see, the relationship between the MPs of Seam Andhra and Telangana is so acrimonious. And the views are so contrary that perhaps the Home Ministry feels that there should be two separate capitals. Secondly, the issue here is that this note now has been drafted by the Ministry of Home Affairs, but it has not been circulated to the cabinet. But the basic details have become very, very clear. And one thing is there that the government now doesn't want to sit on this issue anymore and would like to ensure that certain procedures are set into action. For example, creation of group of ministers, certain apparatus which would look into the financial issues, issues of planning, because everything will be divided between Andhra and Telangana, whether it's power, exchequer, police forces, departments. This is going to be, I would say, a sort of a divorce whereby everything would be divided into 50-50. Unlike other divisions which have taken place between Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, Bihar and Jharkhand, whereby the parent states did not have harsh feeling. But this time around, it's pretty reciprocal because parent state has a very harsh feeling towards Telangana. My colleague Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu has accessed a lot of details of the cabinet note, and most important of all that is the decision which the government has taken on Hyderabad.
Right, and this clearly seems to be an acrimonious divorce, Kartik, if I can put it that way. Kamaljeet, you've been getting us details about the cabinet note, but also take us through the details that you've picked up in that meeting of the Seam Andhra ministers with the Home Minister.
Well, the meeting is currently going on. We believe that in the afternoon at around 1 o'clock, Hari Babu along with 28 other BJP leaders is also set to meet Mr. Shinde. But remember, the point is about the formula. What formula has been worked out? The fact remains that Hyderabad will go to Telangana. For Andhra Pradesh, they're willing to give it a Vizag or Vijayawada. But the point is, if they want to share Hyderabad as the capital for the few years, for 10 years, they're willing to do that. And if they want to have an immediate capital, a different capital, that's what the centre is going to be supporting Andhra Pradesh for. But remember, this is going to be something which is going to be extremely acrimonious, extremely controversial because the financial and administrative control will definitely go to Telangana. So what does Seam Andhra get? It obviously gets a raw deal, and this is something which has divided not just the Congress party deep within. Remember, the Congress is saying, including the Chief Minister, that he's extremely unhappy about a divided Andhra Pradesh.
Right.
There is other section of the party who wants a united Andhra. So obviously there are different words coming in. There were three formulas which were worked out because Mr. Shinde wanted it that way. Formula 1 was that Telangana should be given Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh should get either Vizag or Vijayawada. Second was whether they should be split immediately and Andhra Pradesh can after 10 years decide a capital of its own. The third option was to share Hyderabad as the capital of on the same line as Chandigarh is shared between Punjab and Haryana. Now final decision has been taken by Mr. Shinde after the core group meeting where Prime Minister discussed this issue with Mr. Shinde, and after that the choice was picked up and clearly Hyderabad has gone to Telangana. This is something which is not going to go down well with Seema Andhra leaders, and we see a couple of meetings happening in Home Ministry. Thereafter that particular note will be circulated within the cabinet at 5:30, and thereafter we can expect that that particular note would be sent to group of ministers, and as you mentioned that final resolution would be sent to the assembly for vetting.
Right, Kamal, let's also get a sense of what it could mean politically for the players in Andhra Pradesh and the Telangana region. Let me get in Editor South T.S. Sudhir for that. T.S. Kiran Kumar Reddy has already been acting very belligerent. He's been speaking out against senior leaders of the Congress. How will this situation change that? Will it aggravate the situation and a sense of injustice that some are feeling at the moment?
Well, Seema Andhra leaders are feeling extremely pushed to the wall because one of the conditions that they had put before the Antony Committee has also communicated to Union Home Minister is that even if Hyderabad is made the capital of Telangana state, they would want the subjects of higher education, of revenue, of law and order to be taken care of by the union government, which could be under a committee of chaired either by the Union Home Minister or by the Governor of Telangana. Now, if that does not happen, Seema Andhra leaders will not be very happy, especially since for the last 60 days, ever since the PwC decision on Telangana on July 30, there has been a strike in Seema Andhra region, and this is only likely to aggravate. Already, we have seen Chief Minister Kiran Kumar Reddy taking extremely belligerent post. He has been talking about the problems that will arise, especially relating to river water sharing. Also, with Jagan Mohan Reddy now out on bail, he is also planning a public meeting on October 19 in Hyderabad. So essentially, tensions are likely to flare up in Hyderabad as well as parts of Seema Andhra. So Congress taking extremely political decision. They have decided to keep everything to Telangana, while Seema Andhra leaders and government employees in a sense justified in feeling that they have been granted a raw deal. An extra point and a very important development which is taking place is that the BJP leaders from Seema Andhra region are also now going to meet Union Home Minister Shiv Kumar Shinde, because the feeling that is now gaining ground within the BJP is that it has gone completely with Telangana while completely ignoring the other two regions of Andhra Pradesh, and that they may have to pay a huge political cost for a decision like that.
T.S. Sudhir, stay on with us. Kamaljeet or Sandhu and Karthik are also with us. We are now connecting with Amarnath Menon. He's a senior editor with India Today. Amarnath, is there a sense of the rest of Andhra getting a raw deal at the moment that prevails?
Well, if you look at it from the viewpoint of the people of rest of Andhra, they do not feel that there is fair play. There are two reasons for this. One is they are against Hyderabad being made the capital of Telangana. They have all been clamoring for it being made a union territory. Secondly, if Hyderabad is ultimately going to be made the capital of Telangana, they believe that there should be better revenue sharing arrangements, because almost 60% of the Andhra Pradesh budget, the revenues, 60% of the Andhra Pradesh budget comes from Hyderabad itself. So the question will be how you give shape to Hyderabad, whether it will be it will have to necessarily be the joint capital for 10 years as discussed and indicated earlier. That is so. It will have to be administered by the central government, because after all, you can't have one capital within another capital. Now, that's where the hitch will come as to what are the areas, what are the revenues that has to be transferred to the centrally administering authority.
Okay.
That will be a sore point for discussion, and I think that's what will ultimately decide as to how long it will remain as a joint capital.